The wheat trembles, a sea of gold under a fevered sun. It whispers secrets I strain to hear, a language woven in the rustling stalks, a prayer carried on the wind. A crow cries out, a black tear against the blinding blue, and I understand, in that instant, the ache of existence, the sharp beauty of sorrow. The color of faith isn't stained glass or gilded icons. It's the raw umber of the earth clinging to my boots, the cerulean madness of the night sky, ablaze with impossible stars. It's the yellow, always the yellow, the sun's defiant scream against the encroaching darkness, the promise of light even in the deepest shadow. I see the world as brushstrokes, each a testament to a hidden grace. The gnarred olive trees, ancient sentinels, twisted by the relentless wind, their silver leaves shimmering like the scales of captured dreams. The cypress, a dark flame, reaching for a heaven I cannot touch, yet feel in every trembling leaf. There is a silence in the fields, a vast and echoing silence that speaks louder than any sermon. It's in this silence I find God, not in the pronouncements of men, but in the patient turning of the earth, in the unwavering rhythm of the seasons. Loneliness is a canvas stretched taut, waiting for the touch of color, the balm of connection. It hums within me, a constant drone, yet even in its desolate song, there is a strange solace. For in solitude I am stripped bare, vulnerable, exposed to the raw beauty of being. The sunflowers turn their faces to the light, a silent devotion, a relentless pursuit of warmth. I, too, turn, though my own light flickers and dims, threatened by the shadows that cling to the edges of my soul. But still, I turn. The faces of the peasants, etched with hardship and toil, are landscapes in themselves. I see the struggle etched in their lines, the quiet dignity in their eyes, the enduring strength that binds them to the earth. I paint them not as they are, but as I feel them, with a compassion that aches in my bones. What is faith but the courage to paint the darkness with light, to find beauty in the broken, to believe in the unseen even when the world screams doubt? It's the unwavering conviction that even in the face of despair, hope can still bloom, a fragile flower pushing through the cracked earth. Each painting is a prayer, a confession, a desperate plea for understanding. I pour my soul onto the canvas, hoping to capture a glimpse of the divine, a fleeting moment of transcendence. The night is a deep well of mystery, a swirling vortex of stars and dreams. I lose myself in its immensity, surrendering to the vastness of the universe. The stars are not cold and distant, but burning embers of hope, scattered across the velvet cloth of eternity. The color of faith is not a single hue, but a spectrum of emotions, a symphony of light and shadow. It is the joy of a sunrise, the melancholy of twilight, the fierce passion of love, the quiet acceptance of sorrow. It is the sum total of all that I am, all that I feel, all that I believe, poured onto the canvas of existence. And in that pouring, perhaps, I find a measure of peace, a fleeting moment of grace amidst the storm. The fields of gold ripple beneath the brushstrokes of the wind, a living sea of light and shadow. I walk through them, not as a master, but as a supplicant, a pilgrim seeking solace in the embrace of nature. The air is thick with the scent of sun-baked earth and ripening wheat, a fragrance that speaks of resilience and renewal. Even the crows, dark silhouettes against the azure sky, are messengers of a strange and unsettling beauty. They circle above, their harsh cries echoing the questions that haunt my soul. Am I worthy of this beauty? Am I capable of capturing its essence, of translating its silent language onto the canvas? The sunflowers, those bold and brazen beacons, stand tall and unwavering, their faces turned towards the sun. They are a testament to the power of hope, a reminder that even in the darkest of times, we can still find the strength to turn towards the light. I want to paint them not just as flowers, but as symbols of faith, as emblems of the human spirit's unyielding desire to reach for something higher, something beyond the mundane. The cypress trees, those dark and towering sentinels, pierce the sky like flames, their silhouettes stark against the twilight. They are the keepers of secrets, the guardians of the landscape, witnesses to the passage of time. They speak of death and mourning, but also of strength and endurance. They are a reminder that life is fleeting, but that beauty can persist even in the face of mortality. The village sleeps beneath a blanket of stars, its windows glowing with a warm and inviting light. I imagine the lives unfolding within those walls, the joys and sorrows, the hopes and dreams of ordinary people. They are a community bound together by shared experience, a tapestry woven from threads of love and loss. I long to be a part of that community, to feel the warmth of belonging, to share in the warmth of belonging, to share in the common humanity that binds us all together. But I am an outsider, a wanderer, a solitary figure adrift in a sea of uncertainty. My soul aches with loneliness, a deep and gnawing emptiness that threatens to consume me. Yet, even in my solitude, I find a measure of solace in the act of creation. Painting is my refuge, my sanctuary, my way of connecting with the world and with myself. Each brushstroke is a prayer, a meditation, a desperate attempt to make sense of the chaos and confusion that surrounds me. I paint not what I see, but what I feel. I paint the emotions that churn within me, the fears and desires, the hopes and dreams that shape my perception of reality. I paint the darkness and the light, the beauty and the ugliness, the joy and the sorrow that coexist within the human heart. And in that act of creation, I find a fleeting moment of peace, a sense of purpose, a glimmer of hope that sustains me through the long and lonely nights. The church stands silhouetted against the horizon, a symbol of faith and redemption. But I find my faith not within its walls, but in the fields of gold, in the faces of the peasants, in the burning light of the stars. My faith is not a dogma, but a feeling, an intuition, a deep and abiding sense of connection to something larger than myself. It is the conviction that even in the midst of suffering, there is still beauty to be found. That even in the darkest of times, there is still hope for redemption. It is the unwavering belief that love is the answer, that compassion is the key, that forgiveness is the path to healing. And so I paint with trembling hands and a burning heart, pouring my soul onto the canvas, hoping to capture a glimpse of the divine, a fleeting moment of transcendence, a whisper of faith in a world that often seems devoid of meaning. And even that, perhaps, is enough. The wind whispers secrets through the wheat fields, a language I almost understand. It speaks of resilience, of the enduring power of nature, of the cycles of life and death, of the beauty that persists even in the face of decay. I close my eyes and breathe in the scent of the earth, the sun-baked soil, the ripening grain. It is a primal scent, a reminder of our connection to the land, to our roots, to the source of all life. The sunflowers turn their faces towards the sun, following its path across the sky with unwavering devotion. They are symbols of adoration, of unwavering faith, of the power of light to illuminate even the darkest corners of our being. I try to paint their fervor, their absolute surrender to the source of their life. It is a lesson I struggle to learn, a truth that eludes my grasp. But still I strive, still I paint. The cypress trees stand tall and dark against the sky, like flames reaching towards heaven. They are symbols of mourning, of remembrance, of the eternal flame that burns within the human soul. I see in them a reflection of my own longing, my own yearning for something beyond this earthly realm. They are a reminder that even in the face of death, there is still hope for transcendence. That even in the deepest sorrow, there is still a flicker of light. The color of faith is not always bright and cheerful. Sometimes it is the somber hue of a twilight sky, the deep indigo of a midnight sea, the muted ochre of a barren field. It is the color of suffering, of loss, of despair. But even in these darker shades, there is a certain beauty to be found, a certain depth of emotion that speaks to the resilience of the human spirit. It is in the shadows that we truly learn to appreciate the light. It is in the darkness that we discover the strength within ourselves to keep moving forward. I walk these fields as if walking the corridors of my own mind, each path a thought, each flower an emotion. The air is thick with silence, a silence that speaks louder than words. It is in this silence that I find myself, that I connect with the source of my being, that I hear the whispers of my soul. The world fades away, and I am left with only myself, stripped bare of all pretense, all artifice. And in that moment of profound solitude, I find a measure of peace, a sense of acceptance, a glimmer of understanding. Perhaps faith is not about believing in something, but about surrendering to something, about letting go of our need to control, our desire to understand, our fear of the unknown, about trusting that even in the midst of chaos, there is a deeper order at work, a hidden purpose that will eventually reveal itself. I paint the stars as I wish them to be, not as they are, but as beacons of hope, guiding lights in the darkness. I feel that perhaps God moves in mysterious ways, but He does move. And this is perhaps the greatest consolation I have, to know that I am not alone, that there is a force greater than myself at work in the universe, a force that loves and sustains me even in my darkest moments. And so I continue to paint with a renewed sense of purpose, a deeper sense of faith, a brighter sense of hope. I paint the world as I see it, not just with my eyes, but with my heart, with my soul, with every fiber of my being. I paint the color of faith, the color of love, the color of hope. And in that act of creation, I find a measure of redemption, a fleeting moment of grace, a whisper of eternity. The sun sets, painting the sky in hues of orange and purple, a final burst of glory before the darkness descends. The day is done, but the memory of its beauty lingers, a promise of a new dawn, a new beginning. The fields fall silent, bathed in the soft glow of the moonlight. The stars begin to twinkle, a celestial symphony of light and shadow. And in the stillness of the night, I find a measure of peace, a sense of belonging, a whisper of faith.